Charges have yet to be laid following a violent incident at Weaver Park Campground in Lloydminster over the weekend. RCMP say shortly after 7 p.m. on Saturday, the Crime Reduction Unit was investigating a weapons complaint. Officers started a foot chase and the suspect stole an occupied RV and drove it towards an RCMP member. The officer fired his gun and the suspect driving the RV attempted to escape, colliding with civilian vehicles, and was then apprehended. The suspect wasn't injured, but several civilians were taken to hospital as a result of the collision. The officer sustained minor injuries. An internal review of the incident has started. No further information is being released at this time. The Impact Depot in Lloydminster will be closing and consolidating with the For the Interval store. The Impact Depot was opened by the Interval Home Society in 2020 when it seemed fit for them to expand, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic, they were unable to be as successful as they'd hoped.
I think, and it's something that we've looked at for the past year and kind of monitored and watched. But yeah, we determined just at the end of this fiscal year that it was time to consolidate and go back to one model.
As a way to get rid of extra inventory before consolidating, the Impact Depot will be having a garage sale.
Yeah, well, we're going to have a big garage sale July 5th and 6th. So folks will be able to come down and fill up a bin. So not a Tupperware bin, can you tell how old I am? Rubbermaid bin or something of that sort, and bring it and fill it up for $5 at Impact Depots.
Once the Impact Depot is closed, donations of both money and items will be accepted at the For the Interval store at 5109 51st Street. With summer now upon us, many people are gathering around backyard fire pits. City Council has updated their fire services bylaw to deal with those open fires. The Fire Services Bylaw for the city governs residents' use of fire in the community. It includes fire permits, general outdoor cooking, and firework usage.
One thing that any firefighter will tell you, we'd like to prevent fires rather than go to a fire. But it outlines various pieces. It talks about fines because, again, people do break there's laws regarding fires in our community, and we have to be very careful with that.
The bylaw not only provides guidance to Lloyd residents, but also to city staff and the fire department itself.
To help residents understand why we have a fire service, what they can and can't do around fires. And, the bylaw is fairly extensive, but it's not overly encompassing and isn't taxing by any means, but I think it's important for people. If you have a question, reach out to the Fire Services Fire Department. If you have a question about, can I have an outdoor barbecue pit in the grass or something like that, it just lays it out completely.
For any information regarding the Fire Services Bylaw, visit lloydminster.ca. The 2023-24 season for the Lakeland Rustlers was one of the best in program history, topped off by Lloydminster hosting the Electric Women's Basketball Nationals. While there won't be a national tournament, there will be still plenty to cheer for in the upcoming season. Our Thomas Wildman has more.
We announced today that while we don't have a national championship in store, we do have a very, very special campaign coming up as we are hosting both the Men's ACAC Volleyball Conference Championship and the Men's and Women's Futsal ACAC Conference Championship.
Lakeland College will be hosting both tournaments completely within Lakeland College, and this is the first time Lakeland will ever be hosting the Men's Volleyball Championships February 20th to 22nd.
Just another step forward for our men's program, getting the opportunity to host conference championships. Yeah, super excited for the program, super excited for all of our returning players and all of our incoming players as well.
It will be quite an undertaking for the department hosting both the men's and women's futsal championships all in one place, but it will be well worth it to bring futsal to the border city March 7th to 9th.
We don't get many or any home games in the Lakeland gym. Every year, my girls always say, we want to play games at home. Can we get something kind of games at home, right? So it's going to be amazing. They come out and watch all of the basketball and volleyball games, so for them to experience and feel that atmosphere inside the Lakeland gym, which is special, it's gonna be really great to see.
While all 3 teams will automatically get a spot in the championships, every team has been very competitive in previous championships and plan on winning their way in to get a premium seed for the playoffs.
It's the perfect scenario, really, because you need experience, and that's what we were kind of talking about last year when we first got to go. It's like, well, this is the next step.
Returning just about everybody, so I know the goals for this group are going to be very high, and making sure that we earn our spot at conference championships is going to be one of those goals.
The futsal teams will begin their year out on the pitch with the soccer season in September before transitioning into futsal in the winter, with the men's volleyball team and all of the other gym sports beginning in October. Thomas Wildman, Primetime, local news.
Abby St. John is back at Border Paws Animal Shelter for our weekly edition of Pet Project.
I'm back at Border Paws Animal Shelter for our weekly edition of Pet Project, and today we have the gorgeous Rhodey. She is absolutely just such a sweetheart, and she listens to command when we ask her to place, and she's just so sweet. But unfortunately, with that sweetness comes a very sad story to how she came to be here. So tell me a little bit about that story, and then about her personality and what her perfect fit would be.
So this actually isn't Rhodey's first time at the shelter. She came here probably around the time when we first moved into this building, and she had been adopted out, but unfortunately it did not work out, and she ended up back with us. In total, she has been here for almost 2 years. She came back to us in April of last year. Very good girl. She's so sweet. She's doesn't like other dogs so much anymore. I mean, she used to get along great with them, but after whatever she had gone through after she had left, she's just better in a single dog household. But again, she's so sweet. She's about 7 years old, so older girl, but very polite.
And she doesn't jump either, which is what I noticed when she first came in here.
Not with people, but outside in her kennel, she's a bunny rabbit.
For sure.
Oh,
but
yes.
With bigger dogs, you expect to be kind of barreled over a little bit, but she came into the room and she was so sweet, so chill. Maybe it could have something to do with her age, or maybe just the circumstances in which she came in, but she is just the sweetest. So you would recommend a single household? How about cats or kids for that matter?
Kids, as long as they're not like in her face and super hyper, she seems to be doing well. Cats, not too sure, but I have a feeling where she's a bit dog aggressive, that she wouldn't do well with cats either.
So just a single pet household.
Yeah.
But really any kids, if they know how to kind of approach bigger dogs. Because some of them don't know their size, and you could get accidentally. I've definitely been pushed over by a couple bigger dogs in my day. So not to say that that's an aggression. It's just how it is. Some big dogs don't know their sizes, which is adorable in its own self. But Rhodey is just an absolute angel. She's so sweet. And I think she's just so perfect.
Good girl.
Now on to the topic of adoptions. You had an adoption event in Vermilion, and then you now have one currently going on, or will be going on, with PetSmart, their week-long adoption event. So how did the Vermilion one go, and then what are the details people should know about PetSmart's event?
So it was a really good turnout actually to the Vermilion event. We just want to send a big shout out to everybody who took the time to come down and check out all the dogs and other animals that were there. We really appreciate it. And from the 15th to the 21st, we'll be having our week-long PetSmart event. We do it every year, and it's usually extremely successful, so we look forward to having everybody come out. We'll have a bunch of cats, other dogs. You can always come down to the shelter and see who's here if they're not at PetSmart. But it'll be a whole week. I'll be there for a lot of the days, so look for the colors and all the animals.
And of course, we've brought this up before with these kind of adoption events. People can fill out their application and bring it in ahead of time prior to the event if they know who they want, or if they know that they're going to walk away with an animal.
Yeah, absolutely. And on our website, all the animals that are currently up for adoption are visible on there. You can read their bios and you can come in and meet them, see if they'd be a good fit, because we are getting around that season where it's lots of cats, lots of dogs.
Yes, and to kind of go off of the capacity, it is that season where you will get a lot, and you do have a lot of litters.
Spay and neuter your pets, please.
But on top of that, you guys are in desperate need of fosters. So tell me a little bit about what that process is, and for anybody who's interested in fostering, how they can do that.
So we do have an application process. You can either fill out a paper copy here at the shelter or online. We do have a website, foster@borderpaws.ca, so you can email and express your desire to be a foster, because we are in that season, lots of kittens, lots of puppies. So we do really need some people, because it's a lot safer for them too, because animals coming in and out of here all the time through bylaw, you don't know if they're sick, so we'd prefer that the little ones be in a foster home where it's just, you know, they have a better chance to thrive.
And of course, it's a good opportunity if anybody's never fostered before, to kind of get an idea of what it's like to have a pet as well, so they can kind of decide for themselves if they're curious. And again, it's just maybe you're just looking for a part-time companion for a little bit, just to make sure that they're good to go to their forever home and all that. So there's lots of benefits to fostering, especially here. And I know you guys have had a lot of success with your fosters that you do have currently. So any more will just be that much more appreciated, of course.
And it's a lot easier for animals too to get adopted after they've been in a foster situation, because they're already used to a house, right?
Yes.
As opposed to being in a kennel here all the time. We just would love to see them all get adopted and find good homes. And like, she's such a sweet girl.
She really is. Now, same question as every week. Are there any donations that you are currently in need of?
Yes, currently right now we do get some feral cats in, and for our medical personnel we would really appreciate like the riot style shields, you know, like the plexiglass, or just something to go on the arm just to kind of protect the arms and face from the scritches.
Yes.
I've gotten a couple. It can hurt. Cat scratch fever is a real thing. You can get really sick, so we're desperately in need of those. Kong toys for the dogs, like Rhodey, who are chewers. They can't really do the stuffies because they swallow the fluff.
Ingest it.
Yeah, peanut butter, preferably either the Kraft or Great Value brand, because they do not contain xylitol, which is toxic to dogs. So Great Value or Kraft works perfect for these guys. Because again, that time of the year, we are also in desperate need of kitten wet food, kitten specific, not like adult. It has to say kitten on it, because we have a few. Hey, sweet baby. Yeah.
They're so
and fans, like if anybody has big fans, we do have air conditioning in the rooms with the animals, but there are some parts of the building that don't, so it's very humid,
especially in the back, larger space, so I can see it getting quite warm back there for sure.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a must, and definitely need, especially for the summer if we're gonna get a lot warmer. That we've already been, so that's perfect. And Rhodey, you were a perfect guest as always, and I have no doubt that she will find her forever home.
We also still have all our merchandise available from 1234.ca, so go on there, tons of sweaters, hats, lots of different designs to choose from, and of course the money does come back to help animals like Rhodey and to help with our fosters and to help all those little babies that we have coming in. So you can also save on shipping by having it all shipped here right to the shelter, pick it up from us, and then you save on the shipping. It's a pretty good deal.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again for joining me, and like I said, Rhodey, I don't have any doubts that she will find her forever home.
It's time now to have a look at all of the pet pictures you've been sharing with us for our Pets of the Day.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to have them featured on Pet of the Day.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery, downtown Lloydminster.
Today I'm talking to Matt Brassard, the new assistant coach for the Lloydminster Bobcats, and he's here today to talk a little bit about himself. And so thank you so much for being with me today, Matt.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So Matt, tell me a little bit about your hockey career.
Yeah, so I'm from Barrie, Ontario. I'm about an hour north of Toronto. So big, big sort of hockey area. Obviously, Toronto's a big hockey area, but all the kind of surrounding parts too. So I grew up playing minor hockey in Barrie for about 10 years, and then was drafted into the OHL. Had a 4-year OHL career, and was fortunate enough to be drafted to the NHL by the Vancouver Canucks, and you know, had a pretty good experience playing in the OHL, and obviously that was a cool part of things. And after my OHL career was done, I ended up going to school to get a business degree, and played at the University of Prince Edward Island. So had a lot of fun there, made some good memories, some friends that'll last a lifetime, and ended up turning pro this past year. I played most of the season in Newfoundland for the Growlers, and kind of a bit of an unfortunate end there. They ended up folding towards the end of the year. So yeah, like coaching, something I've always wanted to get into ever since going back to junior. It's something I've always been interested in. I've always kind of been interested in the other side of playing, and what goes into putting a team together. So you know, I'm only 25 years old, but I'm very hungry and excited to learn that side, and get going here with Lloydminster.
And Matt, just to confirm, you don't have any major coaching experience as of yet.
No, I haven't. I haven't had any coaching experience with the specific team, but summer jobs here and there, just working with kids, doing development stuff on the ice, whether it's learn to skate classes or, you know, skill sessions and stuff like that. I've done as a summer job in the past, but this will be my first time actually behind the bench of an organized team. So.
And Matt, have you ever been out to Lloydminster or Alberta and Saskatchewan? And with that, how excited are you to be coming out to the border city?
Yeah, I've been out there a few times. I have a little bit of a connection there. My girlfriend's and her family are from there, so I've been able to come out there a handful of times, and I'll be out there next week actually too. So I'm looking forward to getting to meet Nigel and Jeff in person, and everybody else, because obviously being so far away, all the interviews I've done with them have been over the Zoom calls, and but I think we really connected well, and got to know each other well, and I think that's why we kind of realized it would be a really good fit for me. But I'm really looking forward to getting out there next week, and meeting with them, and kind of going through everything here in the next month before we get going on the season.
And now that we're into summer, Matt, we're into training camp. So how excited are you to come out and help make personnel decisions on the upcoming players, as well as once September comes around, be behind the bench for your first AJHL coaching season?
Me and Jeff, when we spoke over the phone, we had a really good chat about kind of where we see you know, the best parts of kids and what we're going to look for. And I think Jeff has an incredible idea of that. Obviously, he's been there the last couple of years, so he kind of knows the players that are already there, and maybe what him and Nigel know what they need to add to that group. So I'm really looking forward to getting out there, and kind of helping them evaluate and go through the kind of the process of picking those kids and filling in those spots that are needed on the team. And yeah, like, I'm super excited. I can't really stress that enough. I can't wait to get going.
Thank you so much for your time today, Matt, and I definitely look forward to meeting you very soon and seeing you behind the bench for the Bobcats.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm super excited too. I can't wait.
All right, so now we're going to take a quick look at our second chance here at the weather. We're looking at the future radar here, and as you can see, for tomorrow morning or this afternoon, we're going to be seeing a system kind of coming through the south of Alberta there into the Calgary and Lethbridge and area there in Medicine Hat particularly. That's going to continue through, and then as we get into the morning, we're seeing that really big part as we come into the evening here, and then tomorrow morning it's going to kind of slowly dissipate. We're only going to be seeing those major weather systems coming through the northwest here for tomorrow afternoon is when we're most likely going to be seeing the majority of the rain here. Taking a look at the current temperatures across the central region right now, Lloydminster still that 21-degree mark, as is Cold Lake at their 20-degree mark. Athabasca a little bit cooler today at 16 degrees. Whitecourt and Edson sitting at 19 degrees today. Jasper at 17. Red Deer also at 19, with Rocky Mountain House at 20. And Edmonton a little bit warmer there at 22 degrees after keeping around a lot of their free agents from this past weekend. Taking a look here now, Meadow Lake at 22 degrees, Prince Albert at 20, Melfort at 15, Saskatoon at 23, North Battleford a little bit cooler as mentioned earlier at 18 degrees. Taking a look down south, they're very similar to us right now. Kindersley at 23, Swift Current and Estevan at 21, as is Yorkton. Moose Jaw at 17 degrees and Regina at 18 degrees. On the Alberta side, we got some really warm parts there. Medicine Hat and Coronation at 22, but Calgary all the way down at 13 degrees for today. Lethbridge at 19 and Banff sitting at 16 degrees. Looking at tomorrow's forecast here in Lloydminster, tomorrow morning we're going to be mostly sunny at 13 degrees. Then that's going to kind of dissipate a little bit. Lots of clouds showing up towards noon. High of 20 degrees there. It's going to get up to 21 degrees at 6 p.m. And as mentioned, the rain is going to be coming a little bit earlier than that, a 48% chance with the cloudiness there at 6 p.m. And then at midnight, it's going to be a high of 15 degrees. Precipitation, 34% chance there to finish out the day for your middle of the week in Wednesday. North Battleford tomorrow is going to have a couple of showers and possibly a thunderstorm in the afternoon. 67% chance of those happening there. A high of 23 degrees for our friends out in Saskatchewan. And Cold Lake's going to be similar. High 23 for them tomorrow. It's going to be mostly cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm. It's going to be mainly later, though, with those rains and thunderstorms, 78% chance of those hitting. So not the most particularly nice day for all of us here in the central part of Alberta and Saskatchewan. That's going to continue on throughout the rest of the area here as well. We see Meadow Lake, Bonnyville, both having thunderstorms there. Isla Cross is going to have a passing afternoon shower, as is Paradise Hill. And then Provost is going to be cloudy and a little bit breezy in the afternoon for them. So not particularly lovely around the area here. And then further away, lots of rain and thunderstorms as well. Wainwright and Calgary are going to be seeing some thunderstorms, as is Unity and Pearceland as well. And even Murnham's going to be seeing a thunderstorm in the afternoon as well. So lots of thunder kind of coming through the area as we saw on that future radar. So some particularly nasty bits for your Wednesday. Now taking a look at the upcoming 7-day forecast here. On Friday, we're going to be warming up, as mentioned, to 24 degrees. It's going to get real nice on Saturday and Sunday, up to 26 degrees, partly sunny and breezy. And then next week, Monday and Tuesday, 28 and 26. Lots of sunshine. But unfortunately, with all this nice weather and all this moisture, we're getting to possibly be some very humid parts as we get into the later parts of next week and into the rest of July. And so that's going to be a semi-unfortunate bit, but overall the nice weather is really going to be appreciated here in Lloydminster, especially because it's going to be getting a little bit breezy as time goes on.
And of course, Thomas, with those warm temperatures next week, we're probably going to see some fairly high humidity as well and more storms cropping up because of that.
For sure, for sure.
All right. That's all that we have for you tonight. Thanks for joining us and have a good evening.